Holla ballers, what's going on? It's Preacher and we're bringing you 5.4 Assassination Guide. I've done all of Siege of Orgrimmar this week, so I thought I'm actually going to go chill out. I'm going to slum it. I'm going to slum it in the Throne of Thunder. Why the hell not? I'm just going to... I like the Throne of Thunder. I think it has a better aesthetic than the Siege of Orgrimmar, but that's not why we're here today. We're here to talk about, of course, the Assassination Rogue in 5.4 and bring you some hints and tips on how you can play this thing perfectly. I say perfectly. There's always room for improvement. Always, always, always. As you can see, I decided to start us on the trash just to show us a little bit of AoE and whatnot. And when it comes to the Assassination Rogue, because I take a lean back in my chair like a real slacker in LFR, when it comes to the Assassination Rogue, it's such a clinical and sort of methodical style of play. I mean, I said this in the guide, it really is. It's surgical in nature. And a lot of people say that gives it a lack of depth. I can see where they're coming from with that. I can see where they're coming from with that. It's not the most complex of specs. Let's not confuse ourselves. It really isn't. But there's always little tricks and ways of improving, and especially as a rogue, you have so much to bring to a raid that you can really sort of make some decisions on how you want to play that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually not too worried about spreading ruptures on these. I talked about this again a little bit in the talents guide. Is the idea that, you know, your best way of AoEing is actually to spread ruptures on every single target and get those noxious wounds going. For my eyes, what I'm going to do in a situation like this is a good environment to demonstrate this. Is I'm actually going to pick a couple of targets, which are going to be the bigger ones, and I'm going to keep the ruptures on those. If you can actually find him, there he is. So I'm going to generate 5 combo points over here, and this is where you can start using and abusing the styles of play that come with that. You can see that I can easily abuse the fact that I've got that redirect glyph. So I've got 10 seconds redirect. I can use that to actually just generate my combo points wherever I want to have them, and then switch them over to other targets just to keep those ruptures going. So here, I'm now down to 2 targets. I'm going to switch back over to Mutilate. But I'm actually going to put the rupture up on this guy. And by doing this, it makes it so much easier. What I find is that a lot of Assassination Rogues, they seem to be sort of like, oh my god, I've got to do this and that. I've got to do this. I've got to make sure that I'm keeping a rupture on 100% of the time. I've got to make sure I'm doing this. Oh, we're below 35%. Lovely dispatch spam. And we get to 4. I'm going to drop a 4 combo point rupture on this guy. There we go. And I'm going to switch over to this guy. Using that Shadow Step whenever possible. Really, Shadow Step is such a glorious fucking ability. I'm so jealous of it anytime I play any other class. And also in this environment where you have maxed your combo points, no reason to stop DPSing. But if you've taken that anticipation talent, just make sure you're tracking it. It's so vitally important to be doing that, because a lot of people want to sit and sort of wait for that envenom to come off, and they forget that you do have this extra 5 combo points to play with. So nice to take full advantage of that. You can see I've got my anticipation tracking here, so you can see it's up to 3, it's up to 5. I'm more than comfortable. I'm going to make the next 5 for the next rupture. Yeah, there we go. And keeping that DCBS up. But it's not spammy. It's really not. It's like comparing, if we compare it to combat and to sub. Combat and subtlety are other specs. What we can say about Assassination without much fear is that most definitely Assassination is the smoother, it's the cleaner look. It's like the nouveau cuisine compared to combat sort of burger and chips that you're getting, which is the same. It's got the same filling sensation, but it's not nicely presented on your plate. With combat, it's the big meaty double cheeseburger quarter pounder, and it's rough on your guts. You're going to feel it in the morning. And then you got sub, which is this more complex dish, which is also sort of confusing your taste buds and making you all sort of intricate and definitely a lot more deep. It's got a rich sauce on top of it. Oh, I love that pull. It's straight off the bat, no pull. Oh, I love the first miss. So this is your pull, which is then get your rupture on, ASA fucking P, then get your cooldowns going. Use that envenom to get that full on, and that's going to bring you to round about the time when that rupture wears off. And you can see we're into 5 combo points. Now, even though I'm doing this, I'm still tracking the envenom. So you can see I'm going well past my anticipation, and I'm just keeping that envenom, not overriding it. This is why we don't like a lot of haste on our Assassination Rogue, because it's clinical. It's not about getting as much energy as possible. It's about ensuring that we're keeping ourselves nice and tidy with all our abilities. So let's refresh that. Again, going past. Lovely. And you can see how this comes into a non-spammy spec. Okay, I really want to get that into your heads, because you'll have a much better time when you're thinking about what you're doing. Delaying. You see, if I was spamming Mutilate there, I probably would have put another Mutilate in before I took advantage of that extra dispatch. All these kind of things. It's very similar to a Frost DK in that respect. Is you've just got to hold back. Just hold your horses, because as long as your energy's not overcapping and you're not wasting combo points, you're not losing any resources. Okay? You're not losing any resources. Nice and slow and pacey. Lovely build up towards it. I'm going to save these combo points. This guy's about to die, because I'm going to redirect them to him and stick a Rupture on him. And then back onto this guy. Again, instant Rupture up. Well, remember, when you are swapping targets, guys, your Rupture is so vitally important for that Venomous Wounds. Really important. If you can get 5 combo point 1 on, excellent. If you can't, not to panic. You just want to get that Rupture ticking while you fix yourself up, okay? While you fix yourself up. So let's get to the idea of depth. This is one of the big things that I hear about when I play Assassination Rogues. It's people, it's like, it's boring, it's boring. I totally see where those guys are coming from. If you're going to compare it to its other specs, especially to Sub, which is so involved and so intricate and so complex, then yes, there is definitely an argument to be made that this is just not the most complex of specs. There's no, oh, I should have slapped a Rupture on there. That was shoddy play by me. Real shoddy play. Can I do it? Oh, that Shadow Step, though. Get jelly. You jelly? You should be. You should be. Now I'm going to walk into a whirlwind like, alright, screw it. I'll just slow down. Oh, dodging. They see me dodging. They see me dodging. But, of course, what we can do... Oh, I didn't have the cooldown up. It was worth it, though. Vanish into Vendetta. Want to pull off a very cheeky... Oh, got caught by it. I knew that tank position was fucking annoying me, but as a rogue, I did not want to do that. But I'm going to Shadow Step right back. Yeah? Shadow Stepping straight back into it, which is what you should be doing. You are a rogue, ultimately. Your job is to be glued to the boss's bollocks. You have so many ways of getting back to this motherfucker. This is why I really enjoy it, whether it's combat, sub, or assassination. It's just the ability to get rid of me. I'm begging you, get rid of me. I'm serious. Fucking get rid of me. Make me your bitch if you can. I'm not going to get out of this, though. Totally stunned. Come on. Dispel me. They see me dispelling. No dispelling? Alright, and then sprinting again. Back into the fucking action. No questions asked. Get me back in there immediately. Get that Rupture on. You cannot stop me. You cannot fucking stop me. And this is what makes it so enjoyable to play, because I feel like I'm a fly on the boss, yeah? I feel like I'm like a fly who's buzzing around your food, and... You're wafting at me. You're doing whatever you can to get rid of me. But I'm going nowhere. I'm absolutely going nowhere. We've got a double 5. Which means we've got a great opportunity there to put both on. Cool. And again, it's down to get me out of that Frost. Do not want, do not like. And there's nothing I hate worse on this encounter than that Frost. And when it gets planted right at my feet. Ugh. Horrid. Absolutely horrid. You can't get rid of me. You cannot get rid of me, and that's how you guys should be playing. Is anytime the boss is like toying around with you, and you know people are desperately struggling to get back, and you can hear the warriors are like, well, you know, my charge is on cooldown. I had to run away. I had to leap. I had to do this. And you're like, you know what I've got? I've got a fucking 20-second cooldown that's going to get me back into the action so fucking quickly you cannot even imagine. I'm going to use a sneaky cloak there just to make sure that Frost isn't hurting us in any way. I knew you'd plot the fucking dead zone there. Well, kiss my ass. Now, not using the Vendetta. I'm going to take advantage of the Vanish, though. I always like to use the Vanish for that free extra cooldown, especially when we're in dispatch range. Well worth it. Now, we're not going to get a Bloodlust, so we're just going to go for it. We're just going to go for it. I could have saved that Vendetta for dispatch range. Maybe it would have been the right decision. I'm sure there's an argument to be made for that. But ultimately, when I get to this stage, I'm kind of happy. So obviously, we're going to get the fist smashes and stuff. Now, this is where your feint comes in, especially when you're doing your heroic mode content, yeah? Is you can just take so little damage in comparison to everybody else. So we're under effects of a DB. I'm actually looking for an effect where it starts to stack up pretty nastily. And then we can sort of see how that comes into play. Ooh, almost snuck that envenom in. Almost, but not quite. Not quite. That's okay. That's okay. A couple of things that you should be doing if you are raiding in a path, in an actual guild raid, yeah, that I'm not doing here. One is your Tricks of the Trade. It's such an enormous DPS boost. It really is, but it's something that's never reciprocated in the LFR. Out of all the LFRs I've done in this guy, and I've done a hell of a lot, because this was actually the guy I used for the memorable video, which I'm sure some of you remember, where I got all my gear without even trying. without attacking a single mob, is I had to do a lot of LFR to sort of meet some gear restrictions that were put in place on myself there. Is that, you know, rogues tend not to want to trade tricks of the trade, which is, you know, it's a very regular 15% damage increase, which is, it's crazy in my eyes. If you watch the grid here, you can see how little my health moves in comparison to other people, and that's your advantage of being able to feint all that damage. Any opportunity you can have to feint, my god, guys, so fucking good. Really is so amazingly good. I might take us to the next trash pack just to show you guys that. I'm not going to bother with the Shadow Blaze. You're about to die. Oh, some spurs. Lovely jubbly. I fucking love some spurs, which are way less than what I have. I mean, even in terms of this, what I was saying, because this character was used for a different project. As you can see, I'm still rocking this lovely 450 item level dagger. Gorgeous. I know, get jelly. I should go to the Timeless Isle. If it wasn't so fucking boring, I would. I would indeed. When playing single target, you can see it's very easy. We're just controlling our control. We're just making sure we don't waste resources. It is as simple as that. Don't waste your resources. How much simpler can I put it? Find ways of getting back to the boss ASAP. That's what you want to do. Get into the mob's bollocks like this. Get straight in there. No messing around. Slice and dice on. Gonna be refreshed by your Envenom. No big deal. I'm going to build up some extra combo points here, because what I'm going to do is, again, take advantage of what I can do, which is do that, and then redirect them to there. That's 2 ruptures on. 5 combo point rupture on you. Sneaky 1 point Envenom on there. That's going to, remember, it doesn't matter how many points you use on your Envenom, because it's still going to give you that wonderful fucking... That's him dead. And then we're going to start to see all the venomous wounds ticking really nicely. Again, just making sure I'm not capping resources, but I can build my combo points wherever I want. Real easy. Just like that. Keeping 5 combo points. A lot of people struggle with this because they're like, I'm switching all the time. What you're actually doing, if you're goofing this up, is you're switching in a way that's not allowing... You're actually wasting combo points, because more often than not, you've had a crit or whatever, and that's generated you that extra combo point, and they're all going to waste. So as you can see, if you're just using a lot of redirects and a lot of mishmashing around, I'm not bothered about refreshing rupture on this guy, he's going to die anyway. What you can actually do is you abuse the fact that, yeah, sometimes you overcap those combo points, but again, they're not going to waste. It's that simple idea. It's a real simple idea of just don't waste resources. For the love of Christ, don't waste your resources, because they're so important. All you have is energy and combo points. Just do your best not to waste them, and it's very hard to screw this spec up. Is it boring? I guess there's a question we have to ask, because when it comes to specs that aren't difficult in terms of picking up the basics, there's always room for improvement. And I say this about any class whatsoever. You could easily not master, but you can easily get to grips with many, many specs in the game very, very quickly. But getting to the point where you're extraordinary at it, that's not easy. And even with something as with a sort of basic combat system as the Assassination Rogue, it's not that easy. I always worry that guy's going to pull Malia. Hey, got my eye on you. And I do kind of sometimes get a little bit complacent. I think that's one of the risks with these specs, is you get complacent, and occasionally you'll just notice that your rupture fell off for a couple of seconds, or you use that extra Envenom, and you just think to yourself, I didn't really want to do that, you know? Get in a nice position, obviously, as a rogue. I'm going to do the pull again. Why the fuck not? 5, I do enjoy playing 4, this, there's no doubt about it. 3, I'm getting Shadow 2, Step Rage is what I'm doing. 1. To get that rupture on. Oh, I garroted. Ugh! Press the wrong button. Did not intend to do that at all. But, you know, whatever. That'll happen. And so, that complacency is generally what fucks you up. I find that more than anything, it's complacency that screws you up. And after you pull, which is a little bit spammy, your pull is a little bit spammy. You've got a lot to press there. You've got, you know, you've got to squeeze in lots of things. Little redirect. Dropping that on there and shadow stepping back. I will shadow step if I have literally 2 meters to walk. I'm fucking serious. That's how I treat my rogue. I do not ever want to be in a scenario where I am not doing stuff like that, because as a rogue I have these tools there and they will increase my DPS. It's all about those little things. I managed to get there. I managed to save 4 or 5 feet of walking. I managed to cut that out of my gameplay, and therefore I picked up an extra attack, extra few white hits, an extra few poison procs, and it all adds up over the course of a fight. So I'm actually going to do this here. This, yes, thank God that was working nicely. I did overcap my energies ever so slightly, which I didn't want to do. I was hoping to time that so I wouldn't have extra combo points to waste. Actually didn't work out in my favor there, but that's all things that a little bit of practice will come in. What I tried to do there, for those of you who weren't sure, is keep on 5 combo points for the redirect during Tears of the Sun, and also not waste combo points. So I didn't want 6 combo points, because when I redirected them over, I wouldn't be able to immediately redirect them back. I didn't want to be in that scenario, but it didn't work out quite so well. Capped my energy. There you go, brown spot. But that's the way you should be looking at it. It's just, how can I improve? So here I've got that rupture on there. What I would like here is to use this mutilate. 5 combo points. Oh, I've got 7. That's a bit of a bummer. Let's see if I can get a quick 5. I did. Nice. Again, not wasting combo points. That's what I'm really after. Don't want to waste my combo points. And not overlapping that Envenom. Go into the Vanish for the free attack. Put the Vendetta on. Gives me a nice rupture on there. Really nice. Pop the Envenom on. And still keeping nice and slow. You can see I'm not spamming. You can see the keys. When I'm ready to press a mutilate, I'm ready to press it. But once I've pressed it, I'm stopping. And that is because I might get that dispatch proc. I might get it. There you go. See? Nice and easy. Get the extra combo points in. Slap the 5 on there. Back to this guy. Another rupture ticking. Nice and easy. Taking your time. It takes a second or so for that dispatch 2 proc like that. You can see when I actually press the mutilate, it takes a second or so before it registers whether or not it's going to give me the dispatch proc. That's something to always watch. So we're going into the 35% mark now. There we go. I was building energy there. This is all things to be thinking about. This is what separates the men from the boys. All about building the energy. Shadow Blades. Don't want to waste those Shadow Blades. I'm just thinking about it. If I'm near 35%, well, I'm going to wait for the dispatch, you know? I just don't want to cap my energy. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do. It's all very, very... It seems obvious, but in play, a lot of people get a little bit stressed out. So I've got 5 and 5, like there, and a dispatch proc. So your instinct is to go, dispatch, I've procced it. I've got to fire it off. And sprinting. That's how I will use sprint in that manner. I've fucking no doubt about it. Slow and steady. It is fun. It is fun. You can take in a lot of environment. There is quite a bit to manage. I'm not going to deny that. There is quite a little bit to manage. Because it can feel burdensome, because what you tend to find, or what I tend to find when I'm playing this, is I start adding more things to watch for, like trinket procs and stuff. I start paying more attention to those, because I kind of have the freedom and the luxury to do that. But similar to a Destro lock, in fact, I would say, where you start looking at other things that could maybe improve your DPS. Did I have a trinket proc then? I didn't, so I'm going to hold off a second before I pop this spell, or I pop this rupture, or I pop this envenom. Just to see whether or not a trinket will proc, because I've got... My energy's not going anywhere. I've got 5 combo points. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm going to pop it. And yeah, it's kind of so much decision-making to be done that you can see how you'll always have that kind of... you'll always have that guy who's just performing better than you. And this is what he's doing. He's just taking his time. He's just taking his time. He's just thinking about what he needs to do. And I'm not in special gears. You see, I've got blue weapons. See, I've goofed up. That was my complacency. And what a 5. Yeah. See, I goofed up there while talking. And Rupture fell off for a few seconds. And that, for me, when I'm playing this class, is a major fuck-up. But you can see then, again, shadow stepping. If guy moved 4 feet away from me, I'm shadow stepping him. You cannot get rid of me. You cannot get rid of me. So I would put that as my major flaw in this fight. Was again, that complacency. It doesn't help that I'm chatting away, but... You know, that's the kind of thing that you'll realise happens in your fight, and then you're like, oh, yeah, I see where I fucked up there. Okay, so there's room for improvement there. Shouldn't get complacent. I think Assassination Rogues do run the risk of being complacent from time to time. And more because you're distracting yourself while looking at other things to do. I'm checking my trinkets. I'm checking my... Oh, tank death. Lovely. Rupture's coming, and there we go. Nice. Nice and easy. Roundabout. But then you compare it to something like combat. Wish this guy had stopped spinning the boss. So annoying. Come back to me. There we go. Then you compare it to something like combat, which is furious in all ways, yeah? Again, shadow stepping over the top. I'll use it any opportunity. You give me an opportunity to shadow step, I'm going to do it. Simple as that. I hope you guys really pick up on that mentality here of how many times I'm using shadow step. You'll see other classes do take that opportunity just to sort of trundle their ass over there. I'm never going to do that. I'm really not. Right, I'm going for full ham on this guy because that guy goes immune pretty quickly. Got my Vendetta on. Plus, we're going into Vendetta range. Dispatch range. Here we go. Full dispatch. Rupture ticking. Stop making me parry, dude. You're annoying the fuck out of me. These tanks come back to me and right up the arse with an envenom. Ha! Don't you like it when it comes straight in the arse? Rogue style. Shadow step over. Popping a cloak in here. Fucking hell. These guys are making me work for my money. Drop a rupture on him. Shadow step back in. Even little switches like that. Little tiny switches. Come back, come back. Thank you. Rupture on. Where is this guy? Is he going into the other realm? Is that what he's doing? Wow, I've never seen anybody do that while tanking. That's so weird. Okay. That's odd. But, you know, whatever. Whatever tickles you, monkey, I don't mind. I'm not going to question your motives. Give me the 5. Drop another rupture on him. I should be maintaining a better uptime on there. But you can see you've always got... I was a little confused by our tank strategy of going into the... I believe he went into the other realm. I could be wrong. You guys can work that out and check out the screen to see if you can see what that guy was actually doing. I can only assume that's what he was doing. If you can get multiple ruptures up, do it. Absolutely. You're just getting more of the ticks. Just watch this guy when he does do his sort of immunity. If you can avoid running the risk of that. I'm going to keep a feint on here. There's nothing wrong with popping like a passive feint is almost what I'd like to say. I think that's the best way to describe it. Like a sort of precursor feint. I think he's a very, very handy way of playing your rogue sometimes. Just to keep yourself safe. Especially if you're an LFI and you're not quite sure what the fuck's going on. You're not sure if your tank is even in the right realm. You know, that kind of question that we often ask us. This is really dodgy for the sleep things. I'm just watching my feet here. I'm going to have to do a little bit of Michael Jackson here. Do a little bit of dancing. Just make sure we're nice and safe. Don't want to get slept. I do have Will of the Forsaken, but I'd rather not have to demonstrate me being put to sleep on a video. That would be really sad, but whatever. You can see there's so much opportunity to make up for your mistakes. The mistakes are so difficult to make that it's nice. Look at these fucking things, man. Dodgy, dodgy. Our tank's tanking again now, though, which is nice. Always nice to see that your tank is tanking again. You know, we've got to be thankful for the little things sometimes. Thankful. Oh, the last minute Shadow Blades? Yeah, sure. Look at that one. Ooh. Look at that one. I hope to see people... I like it when people are all slept right next to me and I can stand there. Hopefully they do know Will if Forsaken can break it. And we'll slip in another Envenom there. He's about to die anyway. That's going to boost about 100k DPS. Not bad for this gear, actually. Not bad at all. I'm okay with that. Whoop. What a wonderful, wonderful spec, guys. I enjoy it a lot. As you can probably tell, I do enjoy it a lot. I'm not going to bother with Lei Shen, though. It's a lot more single target stuff. Less opportunity to be a little bit fun with your rogue. Use all your abilities to its max. I would have liked to have had an opportunity there to pop the smoke bomb. I'd certainly like to have seen a rogue reciprocating some tricks of the trade, so I could just sort of work that in. But bear in mind, if you are raiding, you want to get that tricks of the trade on cooldown. Use and abuse it, because it's there to be used. Alright, guys, that's your Assassination rogue stuff. I hope you enjoyed that. See you again. Bye.